Buenos días. Es el lunes y son las 12. Hello, everyone. It's Monday and it's 12 o'clock, so it's time for our first Community Spanish of this week, broadcasting 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12. We also have Community Mandarin going and Community French going. In addition, we have children's programming for French happening on Monday through Wednesday evenings at 8 o'clock for French bedtime story. And we also have running on our Instagram live Portuguese and French lessons going on Instagram. So we have lots of live content happening every week. A couple of quick announcements to make before I get into today's video topic. So first announcement is that the December class schedule is now posted. So if you would like to look into what the options are for December class, you're welcome to go do that on our website, which I have in the banner below, rolalang.com or rolalanguages.com. You can click around the different languages and see the classes we have coming up. So all of the published schedules and course descriptions and prices and all that stuff is up on the website, including the registration form. So if you want to sign up, you can do that quite easily over there. And if you're not quite sure about what level it would be best for you, you can request an evaluation, which there should be a button on all of the class language pages. You can press that button and give us a couple of time slots, whichever one would be convenient for a teacher to give you a call. And it's usually just a quick 10 to 15 minute conversation and a casual discussion for the teacher to get a sense of your abilities and make a recommendation. So if you're not quite sure exactly where you fit in, or you just want to confirm where you think you belong, evaluation is the kind of the best step for you to take before you sign up for the class. One other announcement I wanted to make before we get into the topic of today's Community Spanish video is a reminder that our first e-course is now up on Udemy. So if you're interested in learning, if you're a beginner at Spanish, or if you know someone who is, or especially if you want to give it as a holiday gift, this is a great opportunity to share Spanish with them in our new course format. We've never offered e-courses before, so we're really excited to have this new development so you can learn independently with our not only a textbook, but we have exercises, we have videos, we have cartoons, we have lots of different things for you to use. So we're really excited about this. And you can find links to that on our, if you just Google Rola Languages, you can find links to that program, and also will be up on our website very shortly. All right, so let's get into our topic for today. We're continuing in our Repaso series, our review series. So as I've been doing the past few weeks, we've covered many topics over the past few months in my Facebook Live lessons. And so now we're kind of circling back to review a lot of the themes that we've been learning, get more practice, make sure we didn't forget what we learned before. So let's get into our Repaso for today. So I'm going to be going ahead, assuming that you do have some knowledge of this topic already, but if you're not exactly sure, if you feel like you're kind of shaky on the beginner principles, you can go ahead and go to our website on the Facebook Live page of our website, and you can see the link to the original video I made teaching this topic. So if you feel like you're not quite ready for the review, you need the kind of introductory stage, you can find all of the videos that we've made for these past few months on our website on the Facebook Live page of our website. And again, I have the link right there in the banner, so if you're not sure where to find us, that's where you can go. All right, let's get into it. So we have our exercise we're going to be doing together to practice the concepts of ser and estar. So we've definitely spent a lot of time on this previously, and it's something you can spend a lot of time on over your Spanish learning career. Something that can be a continuing challenge for native English speakers who are learning Spanish to really kind of be able to memorize and understand and know the difference between ser and estar, because both of them can be translated as to be in Spanish. So it's a little bit confusing for English speakers who are not really used to having to differentiate between what sort of being you're doing. It can be, again, something you need to practice a lot. So we're going to get into our practice exercise today. And as usual, I want this to be as interactive as possible. So even though I'm going to be walking you through the exercise, I want you to, if you're watching this live, feel free to put your responses in the comments below on Facebook or on YouTube. Or even if you're watching it after the fact, you're still welcome to add your own answers up into the comments below. So por favor, escribe tus respuestas en los comentarios abajo. Write your answers in the comments below, and let's get into this exercise together. Okay, so starting with número uno. So again, here, what we're going to be doing in this exercise is practicing having to choose between ser and estar, to choose which is the right verb for this situation, for this context of that sentence. And then we have to make sure to conjugate it to go with the correct person. So again, on a high level, ser is to be, but for things that are in general are a more permanent sense. So often this we use to describe people, like their personalities, their appearances, because in general, those are things that are pretty static, their professions, their relationships. Versus estar, we use for more things that are temporary, things that can change, like our mood or emotion, the weather, these kind of things that we expect to be changing, or our location as well, right? Because we're not usually in the same place all the time. We're going to move around. So we're going to be applying those concepts in this exercise here. So, número uno, we're starting with nosotros. Nosotros, so we know nosotros is we, and then we have to choose the verb to go in that blank, and then we have bailarines. Bailarines. Bailarines are dancers. So if you think about this context, what are we trying to express? And so we think about saying we are dancers, right? This is our profession. And so for professions, we use ser. So, but now we have to go to the second step, and not only to identify which verb, but we have to make sure to conjugate it to go correctly with that person. So if we're working with nosotros, you have to kind of go in the back of your brain, make sure you remember your conjugations of ser and your conjugations of estar. So for ser, with nosotros, the form is going to be somos, somos. And again, if you feel kind of rusty on those conjugations, I welcome you to go back to the website to see the original video that I made teaching these concepts. I made several videos on ser and estar. So if you need to kind of go back one step before you come back here to this review, you're totally welcome to do that and look for the original video to kind of get your bearings first. So, but again, as I said at the start of the video, I am going to be proceeding with an assumption that you do either have seen the videos previously, or maybe you've studied some Spanish before, so you can hopefully keep up with me. So our first one, número uno, nosotros somos bailarines. Nosotros somos bailarines. Okay, excelente. Nosotros somos bailarines. And as I always say, as we do these exercises, while we are going to be writing them out, for each sentence, it always helps for you to say it out loud after we have the sentence posted up there, because that would not only help your pronunciation, but help you to internalize the concept, because the more you repeat it, the more you're likely to remember. Okay, número dos. We have usted blank bombero. So before we had where bailarín is a dancer, as the profession. Here we have bombero, which is firefighter, so also another profession. So we're going to be using ser again. So, and then we need to use the conjugation that goes with usted. So él, ella, and usted are sharing the same conjugation, which is es. So usted es bombero. Usted es bombero. You are a firefighter. You, the formal way, the polite way to say you. Okay, número tres. Tú blank en el banco. Tú blank en el banco. You blank in the bank. So we're talking about a location, right? This is where you are right now. So something that's going to change, because your location changes, because you as a person move around, you're going to be using estar. So tú. And if you remember the form that goes with tú, we're going to be using estás. So tú estás en el banco. Tú estás en el banco. Muy bien, tú estás en el banco. Número 4. Beatriz y Felipe blank de Perú. Now this one we have to be a little bit careful to pay close attention, because if we see something like Peru, we say, oh, country of Peru, that's the location, right? But if we think about, if we pay attention closely to this context, this sentence, we're saying that they are from Peru. So being in Peru, which is location, something that changes, right? Because you could move to another country, versus being from Peru, describing something about their origins, something that doesn't change. So we have to pay attention to that little word that makes so much difference here, which is de, saying they are from Peru, not saying that they're in Peru. I mean, they may be in Peru right now too, but that's separate from this sentence. So we have Beatriz y Felipe. So again, this is talking about their origins. This is kind of making a description of them. So we're going to be using something permanent, which is ser. And Beatriz and Felipe, which is like putting them two together. It's like the same as saying ellos or they. So Beatriz y Felipe son being the ellos conjugation of ser. So Beatriz y Felipe son de Perú. Beatriz y Felipe son de Perú. Okay, número 4. On to número 5. Moving right along. Número 5. Yo blank madre. Yo blank madre. So we have yo, meaning I. Madre being mother. So this is something that once you become a mother, it's kind of a permanent state. So this is going to be something we're going to use ser with, and we can put this under the category of personal relationships, which we say those are pretty much always in the ser category. So yo soy madre. Yo soy madre. Again, this is the yo form of ser, going with madre because saying you're a mother is something that's a like permanent descriptor for you now. And so we're going to be using ser. Yo soy madre. Okay, número 6. And I'm going to scroll up a little bit just so we can see better the bottom of the exercise. Número 6, Marco blank de Colombia. So this one is very similar to the one we saw before, número 4, where we have to pay attention to that little word de meaning from rather than meaning in, right? So we're saying Marco is from Colombia, speaking about his origin, something that doesn't change because it's a kind of characteristic that permanently describes him. He's always going to, even if he moves somewhere else later, he's always going to be from Colombia originally. Marco es de Colombia, right? Because es being the él, ella, usted form, and Marco goes with él. So Marco es de Colombia. Marco es de Colombia. Número 7. Ellos blank de viaje. Ellos blank de viaje. Here, viaje is our keyword. Viaje is a trip, like traveling. Okay, so we're saying that they are on a trip. They are traveling. So we're saying that this is something that's not permanent, right? They're not permanently traveling. It's probably something that's just temporary for like this week or these couple of weeks for a kind of determined amount of time. So we're going to be using estar here because this is something that will change, again, because they're not always traveling. So ellos, then we need the form of ellos that goes with, the form of estar that goes with ellos, which ellos, ellas, and ustedes all share the same form, which is going to be están. So ellos están de viaje. Ellos están de viaje. And this one features a really helpful expression, which is estar de viaje. We would say in English to be on a trip. In Spanish, we say estar de viaje. So it's a little bit different of an expression versus the English way that we phrase it. So ellos están de viaje. They are on a trip. Número 8. All right, we have 3 more to go. Pilar y Victor blank amigos. Amigos, there's a key word which most people know, even if you're not a Spanish learner. Amigo is one of those basic words that many people know. Amigo being friend, and this will go into our personal relationship category. So amigo is going to go with ser, saying that they are friends. Again, in general, once you are a friend with someone, you remain friends. So this is going to be a permanent thing. So Pilar y Victor, and again, those two people together is going to make it into an ellos form, like they. Pilar y Victor son amigos. Pilar y Victor son amigos. Pilar and Victor are friends. Again, personal relationship, so we're going to use ser. And son being the form that goes with the ellos form, because Pilar and Victor together makes they. Okay, 2 más, 2 more to go. Número 9, ustedes blank enojados hoy. So this one, enojado, is a really helpful vocabulary word to knowing if we should use ser or estar here. But even if that one was above your level and you don't know the word enojado, you do see the word at the end here, which is hoy. And hoy is a word you're more likely to know, which is going to be, it means today. So if you think about that in terms of our context of permanent and temporary things, if you see the mention of the word today, that's going to be something that's probably going to be temporary, right? Because it's just for this day. So even without knowing the word enojado, you could guess that this sentence requires estar. And it's true, that's the case. Enojado means like angry or annoyed, kind of. So this is an emotion, which, as I said before, is going to take estar because our emotions are changing. Ustedes, we have ellos, ellas, and ustedes all sharing the same conjugation of estar. So ustedes están enojados hoy. Ustedes están enojados hoy. You all are angry or annoyed today. Okay, número 10, last one. 10. Él, being he, él blank rubio. So rubio is the blonde hair color. So again, I know We can dye our hair, and our hair will change color over time, especially maybe as we age. But generally speaking, our hair color is, if we leave it natural, is something that it does not change. So we use in Spanish the verb ser for hair color or describing other physical descriptions like that. So we're going to say él, and then we're using ser, and we need the conjugation goes with él, ella, and usted. Es, so él es rubio. Él es rubio. He is blonde. Él es rubio. Okay, all right, that wraps up our exercise for today. Thank you for joining. And again, if you would like to review either the previous video or any previous worksheets, we've made a lot of materials over these past few months of learning from home. There's a lot of things to check out on our website on the Facebook Live page of RolaLanguages.com. You can find the links to all the previous videos and many worksheets if you need a review for this topic or anything else, and you're totally welcome to share these resources around. Since these are free, we want them to be shared with the community. So if there's someone else you know who you think might enjoy these resources, feel free to send them the link and they can check out all the material we have here. Okay, excelente. That's all for today, and I'll see you next on Wednesday at 12 for the next Community Spanish. Gracias y adiós.